call this September 20th regular session of the Oconee County Board of Education to order. First item of business is to approve the agenda. I need a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Burgess?
Second.
Second, Mr. Ransom. All in favor? Passes 5-0. Next, we need a motion to approve the minutes for our August the 9th regular session, September the 2nd special session, and September the 13th work session. Ms. Parrish?
Second.
Second, Mr. Bagley. All in favor? Next, we have recognitions. Ms. Anissa Jimenez.
Good evening, board members and Mr. Superintendent. If you will please come forward for the September 2021 recognitions. As you come up, I'll note that the art display this month is provided by students of Rocky Branch Elementary School, and their instructor is Stephanie Dixon. All right, first up this evening, we are really pleased to recognize a couple of our community partners, and we will start off with Aiken Sport. The board will now recognize Aiken Sport, and Mr. Brad Aikens is here this evening. Aikens donated 2 trucks to the Oconee County Schools FFA program, so we're very appreciative of this significant contribution. Mr. Aikens? All right, well, he's not here this evening, but we appreciate the trucks. The trucks. Next up, I know we do have our representatives from Bank South here, Eric Fletcher and Lori Peterson, and we want to recognize and thank Bank South for sponsoring our Villa graduation, which is our Parent Academy event, and they also support various schools in so very many ways. Come on up.
Thank you very much.
We want to get your picture. Y'all will in front of y'all.
That's fine.
We want to block y'all.
Yeah, that's
Okay. There you go. All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you
Thank
so
you all.
much.
Thank you.
very much.
Next, we have a special presentation. The Oconee County High Schools Alumni Association, represented this evening by Mr. Adam Hammond, is going to award some very special grants to our schools. So without further ado, I want to let you get to share all the surprises. So please come on up, Mr. Hammond.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having the Alumni Association here. We're so proud to be a part of Oconee County Schools. We are the Oconee High Schools Alumni Association because we have high schools from Bogart High School, Watkinsville High School, Oconee, North Oconee, and Ed Stroud. So anybody who's been an alum of Oconee County Schools is a part of our group. And every single year we try to create a sense of community and place for our alumni community, and we're able to do that through different events and fundraisers. And we give grants out to the schools every single year. And I have to mention our president, Lynn Wood, is not here tonight, and every single year she says she went to first grade in this class, in this room. So I had to say that because she's not here today. But we just try to preserve that history and continue those stories and support the schools by giving grants. And this year, we unanimously decided to give North Oconee and Oconee $1,000 each for their agriculture programs. And we're doing that because our roots are in agriculture here in Oconee, and we're so proud of that, so we're going to promote that. North Oconee has some great soil and supplies and seeds they're going to get for one of their gardens, and they hope to raise some vegetables and maybe give those away to community food banks. And Oconee has some capital improvement projects they're going to do, so I'll welcome them up. We have the FFA president from North Oconee, Cody, and we have some Oconee representatives as well. Let's start with North Oconee. Maybe we'll do it one at a time. How about that? You want to get that on the other side? There you go.
I'll slide it.
Yes. Mr. Bagley, if you would like to come just so we can thank you. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thanks, Cody. And now for Oconee. So what's your name? Lexi Pritchard, another FFA member. Thanks for being here, Lexi. $1,000 for your school as well. And in the past 10 years, we've been able to give out $20,000 in grants like this. So we're pretty proud of that.
One, two, three. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Hammond and our high school's Alumni Association. Next, the board is very pleased to recognize North Oconee High School student Mary Frances Webb. Mary Frances was chosen as a spokesperson for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, and she was also recently chosen to design the outside of Chase Elliott's NASCAR car for the recent Darlington race. Come on up, Mary Frances.
Let's get you right here.
Yeah, she was our superintendent of the day.
That's right. She's been in here before.
1, 2, 3. Yes, thank you so much. And finally, we have some golf teams to recognize. So the board will recognize the 4A state champions boys golf team from North Oconee High School. And we're just gonna call them in. But first we wanna bring in, yes, the head coach Kevin Stewart and assistant coach Jackson Huckabee. If they can come on in and help us get these certificates to their rightful owners. We're gonna give you the job of getting a certificate to the right person as they come. Thank you so much. All right, let's bring in these state champs. Luke Jarvis, Ford Haynes, Luke Koenig, Eli Rogers, Hunter Brown, Drew Freeman, Landry Short, and please wait up here, we're gonna take a group picture. Austin Spencer, Will Boyles, Freddie Chappell, Wyatt Flurry, and Mark Stanley. A round of applause. And before we take this picture, we have one student who has received 2 certificates. Luke Koenig, which one are you, Luke? Luke was the 4A state player of the year. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. If your parents want to step up, yes, absolutely. Step up.
Volunteer to group.
Thank you.
Alright, come on, let's go.
Good buddy.
And it wasn't enough for North Oconee to win the boys' state golf tournament. They won the girls' one too, so we're going to bring in the girls' golf team.
Wow.
First, their head coach Rob Melton and assistant coach James Hedrick. Come on in. Let's bring in these ladies. Leah Anderson, Cameron Wright, Maddie Chappell, Abigail Hill, Maya Vogel, Sarah Fryman, Athena Brooks, Ansley Crow, Haley Aid, Peyton Herndon, and Catherine Wagner. A round of applause. Get this and then get out of the way for the parents. Let's see. Yes, this is Oregon. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, get out of the way for the parents.
Next, we have points of pride, and welcome to Rocky Branch Elementary School.
Good evening, Dr. Branch and Board of Education members. We are very excited to be here tonight to present our point of pride. Joining me are Morgan Power, my counselor, and Candace Ivory, the assistant principal. So our point of pride is our iMom and our All Pro Dad program. The iMom program started in 2012, and those monthly sessions are led by our counselor. And the All Pro Dad program started in 2015, and it is led by volunteer dads at our school.
Good evening. I would just like to add that both programs originated from Family First, and I just really enjoyed the relationships that we've been able to build through our iMom program.
So instead of us talking for 5 minutes, we're going to let you hear from the parents and the kids about what they think about this program.
iMom and All Pro Dad are programs that were designed to inspire moms and dads to love and lead their families well and to connect with their children. In these meetings, you will be given tools to communicate with your child in a non-threatening, life-affirming way. The iMom program is for mothers of kindergarten, first, and second grade students, and the All Pro Dad program is for fathers of third, fourth, and fifth grade students. Both of these programs meet every month, enjoy a Chick-fil-A breakfast, and their time together.
Hi, my name is Chad Carnes, and I'm one of the All Pro Dads Day team captains at Rocky Branch Elementary School, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about All Pro Dad. All Pro Dads is a group of dads dedicated to strengthening our relationships with our kids. So what is the one thing that our children desire the most from us? Time. And if we give our time, they equate that to love. All Pro Dads Day desires to give some time to us dads and our kids once a month on their turf amongst their friends. And as a dad, I wasn't that involved in the school part of my children's life. My wife handled that part. And if us dads are honest, that's the case for most of us. I decided to change that in my life and found All Pro Dad and decided to start a chapter about 7 years ago. Frankly, one of the most important dad things I've ever done. I'm about to share with you the things that we do monthly, and I can promise you that it impacted my life greatly, even though I didn't have a kid in the program for a number of the years. And it impacted my kids as well. So what do we do once a month? It's so simple, really, and so easy. First we eat, we meet their friends and their friends' dads. We often suggest that we find a table with people we don't already know. The purpose, obviously, is community building. During our time together, monthly, All Pro Dad strives to give us tools that might help us all become the best dads that we can be. We gather together as dads and kids to share in some fun activities, create some great memories, and learn about meaningful topics like forgiveness, leadership, humility, and purpose, using All Pro Dad's character-based curriculum. My favorite part of our time together is the pride moment, where we all take turns telling our kids what we're proud of them for. We simply say, "I'm proud of you because," and tell them something specific that we're proud of them for. It is so special. We then go through the curriculum, watch a short video, ask some questions, communicate out loud, and then spend some time discussing the topic with our kids individually. The communication is amazing and often quite powerful, I promise.
My name is Kelly Price, and I've been a Rocky Branch mom for several years now. I love the iMom program for lots of reasons, but I think the biggest are that it just gives you a chance to come in the morning with your child. Once you get here, you can kind of exhale, forget the busyness of the morning, and the prompts that Ms. Power gives are awesome. I mean, it really helps you connect with your kid. It's really some really sweet moments questions you wouldn't think to ask your child. You know, you tell your kid that you're proud of them all the time, but for them to respond and tell you why they're proud of you, it means a lot. So it's just, it's been a great program. We love it, and we encourage all of our friends to come because we get a lot out of it. It's great.
I enjoy All Pro Dads because I get to spend quality time with my dad and it socialize with other people.
I like our moms because I like spending time with my mom and talking to her.
Why I like All Pro Dad is because we can learn about the Rockets way and spend time with our dads while learning to be a better person.
Our moms and All Pro Dads are more than just a program. It is a way that Rocky Branch reaches beyond academics to include the most important thing in life, relationships.
So as you can see, the iMom and All Pro Dad program has played a huge role in our social emotional learning that takes place at Rocky Branch. We love having the visitors come in. This program has brought together families and even the community. That's it, unless you have any questions.
Any questions?
When did y'all start this?
iMom in 2012, All Pro Dad in 2015. I think you missed it about 2 years.
Are they related at all, the two programs?
Yes, both of them are the family
Oh,
first,
you mentioned
family
that.
first, and so there's a website, All Pro Dad has a Twitter, whether you're a part of this program or not, it gives wonderful suggestions for moms and for dads. It's all about just bringing families together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have communications to the board. First is business services. We have Miss Harlow.
Good evening, board members. Business Services has 7 items of information for tonight's board meeting. The first item of information is the cash balance report for August. The second item of information is a list of all vendor payments in August. The third item of information is the budget report for June, which is the closed out unaudited FY21 budget report. The fourth item of information is the budget report for August. Revenues and expenditures are where we would expect, as we are just a few months into the beginning of the fiscal year. The fifth item of information is the ELOS collections report. The rolling average is 14.4% over the previous year, and this month's collections are 25% over the previous period last year. The next item of information is the board report for ELOS 5, and as every month, the revenues and expenses have been updated as of August 31st. The last item of information is the federal funds report for August. The report has been updated as of August 31st of this fiscal year. I do want to share some good news with the board related to our ESSER 3 allotment. A portion of our ESSER 3 funding has been approved to allocate $100 to each classroom teacher to purchase instructional school supplies. The total amount allocated to all schools is a little over $56,000. Allocations have been made available to building leaders who will work with their staff on spending these funds. And that concludes my report unless there are any questions.
Any questions?
Just a comment. Liz is our newly installed Chief Financial Officer. I couldn't help but note your first month out was 25% growth in our sales tax. So I assume now that you've taken over the reins, that will continue.
We'll see.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is public communication. Do we have anyone signed up?
Yes, and we have 2 people tonight.
Okay. Before we get started, let me share this. The board allows 3 minutes for those who sign up at the meeting. You must be a current resident of Oconee County to address the board. Please state your name, address, and topic. The board requests that You refrain from making any disparaging remarks about school system personnel. Generally, there will be no response to comments or questions posed by citizens at the meeting. All comments and questions will be received and taken under advisement by the board. However, any member of the board shall be free to respond and make public comments if he or she elects to do so. And who do we have up first?
The first one is Miss Mitzi Honeycutt.
Miss Honeycutt.
Hello, Board. I'm Mitzi Honeycutt. I live at 2750 Heather Lane in Bogart. And I wasn't actually planning to speak tonight, but I was going to email you. But since we were already going to be here, I thought I would read it to you. So hopefully this will be short and hopefully pretty sweet. Presently, I have an 8th grader at Malcolm Bridge Middle and a senior at North Oconee. I would like to say that I'm proud to be a part of the Oconee school system, and our family appreciates how you guys are handling the school year by allowing families to choose what is best for them personally. Thank you for not getting sucked into quarantines and mandates of any kind. Regardless of how loud the noise is, mandates cannot be supported. Thank you for protecting our children against mental health issues such as anxiety and depression caused by isolation and division. Thank you for moving forward and not backwards. We are grateful for the ability for students and staff to be able to enjoy activities again, and with the pause, may now have a greater appreciation for the little things. I can't tell you how excited my middle schooler was about different career choices after an educational field trip, or how valuable work-based learning has been to our high schooler, or how encouraging running cross-country has been for both of them, or how uplifting FCA meetings have been for them before school. It sounds small, but I believe those types of things are also important to students' health and may have gone unnoticed until it was returned to their lives after a tough year of quarantines and isolation. Each family knows what is best for their own health and mental well-being, and we appreciate the freedom to make that choice. Thank you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next,
Mr. John Phillips.
Mr. Phillips.
John Phillips, 1040 Creekstone Lane. There's been some talk about ads in the Oconee Enterprise recently. I have here an anonymous ad from the OE dated October 21, 1964, that shows that citizens wanted a law to vote for board members. Notice to the citizens of Oconee County, on November 3, you will have an opportunity to vote for the amendment to elect the Board of Education. At the present time, the board members are appointed by the grand jury. As citizens of Oconee County, we believe in electing the board members since all other offices of the county are filled by elected members. We feel the members of the Board of Education hold a responsible position as the ruling body of our local school system and should be elected by the citizens. Our children and their education are important, so go to the polls on Tuesday, November 3 and vote to elect your school board. Signed, a group of interested Oconee citizens. You see, the 1964 law that you used to appoint members, Argo and Bagley 2 weeks ago, Bagley again in 2010, Burgess in 2014, and Parrish in 2016, that law of 1964 was intended to do exactly the opposite of what you are doing. It was intended to give people the vote. You have perverted the law by taking a small clause, a loophole if you will, and twisted it for your ill intent. The law passed overwhelmingly, and Representative Hubert Wells introduced the amendment to the state constitution. In 1966, the first election for board members was held. Several weeks before Election Day, candidates spoke in the high school gym for a Meet the Candidates event. The candidates for Post 1 were Herb Bennett, C.M. Hammond, John A. Peck. Post 2, Ben McElroy, James A. Marshall, Joe D. Murrow. Post 3, J.D. Maribel, James E. Pallas, Major Rice. Post 4, Robert H. Brown, Wyatt Posey, Harry Thomas. And Post 5, Mrs. Larry Hawk, Donald E. Hodges. Those candidates in 1966, for the first time ever, were participating in the honorable democratic process of electing board members. Through this board's shenanigans, self-dealing, and cronyism, those candidates of 1966 are dishonored, and their family names and legacies are dishonored. The law should be used as intended to give citizens the right to vote. If you think your appointees can win, let them stand for election and win. I call upon all citizens of Oconee County to demand that Representatives Wiedauer and Gaines and Senator Pauser repeal this 57-year-old law and allow state law to require proper elections for vacant board positions. There's been a lot of talk about election integrity. Why don't we have that in school board elections in Oconee County?
Thank you. I think next we have action items. Dr. Branch?
Yes, ma'am. We have, first up, we have the Northeast Georgia RESA Special Education Shared Services Contract. You had this presented before you last week, and so we recommend that it be approved at a cost of $360,444.97.
We need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Ransom?
Second.
Second, Mr. Burgess, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Up next, you have bus purchase. Again, we're looking to purchase 4 buses, 3 78-passenger buses and 1 72-passenger bus. Total cost is $393,818. This will be funded through ESSER 3 funds, and so we recommend that be approved as presented.
We need a motion to approve the bus purchases.
So moved.
Mr. Bagley?
Second.
Second, Ms. Parrish, all in favor? Passes 5-0.
Next up, we have the High Shoals Elementary School addition. You again heard a presentation and saw some elevations and drawings of this last week. The total cost as it relates to Amacher Brothers Construction Company would be $2,756,000 for an 8-classroom addition. The estimated total cost for the entire project is $3.2 million. This project will be funded through ELOS 6 and general dollar funds. We recommend approval as presented.
We need a motion to approve.
I would move that we accept the bid from Amacher and approve their construction estimate of $2.756 million, and that we also approve the total project budget of $3.2 million in total, and that the approval will be stated so in our amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Maybe we can do some of these field trips, combine them.
Yes, ma'am. If it pleases the board, we can do all 4 field trips. I recommend approval as presented.
We need a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Parrish?
Second.
Second, Mr. Bagley, all in favor? We have a need to go into executive session and need a motion to do so.
I'll make a motion that the board will adjourn to executive session to discuss and deliberate upon personnel matters as described on the affidavit to be attached to the minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Parrish.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ransom, all in favor? Passes 5-0.